Hi guys! Today I am here with a very special guest. Right now she's still invisible, but movie magic. Boop! Here's Maureen.
Hello!
And Hi Maureen, thanks for joining me. And today we're gonna play a little game which I'm currently still not sure about how I'm gonna call it, but it's basically the YA plot generator. So what Maureen and I did, we came up with a bunch of YA tropes, stereotypes, archetypes, whatever you might call it, put them on a list, and then created this nice bunch of tropes. And we're gonna pull 3 of them, and then we're gonna try to make our own version of a YA book out of it, and then give it a nifty title, right?
Yes.
Are you listening, Maureen?
I am listening.
First 3 tropes.
I'm ready.
The friend zone BFF.
Okay.
Second one. Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting. I like really retro and hipster music, and I own a record player. That's a second trope. And then the clumsy main character.
I think I know what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Okay, do you wanna go first?
No, you can go first.
Okay, so my story has a very simple title. It is just titled Clumsy. And gotta go with those clever, catchy one-word YA titles. So this is about a girl who's the clumsiest girl alive. Her name is Anna. And she just...
Anna.
You have to say it like that too. Anna. And so she is super clumsy, but very endearing clumsy, as you will be. She always has problems and gets into trouble because she's so clumsy. She has a best friend whose name is Jack, and he has loved her forever, and he will continue to love her forever. And he thinks he's, like, starting to break through. He thinks he's starting to, like, maybe finally get somewhere with her when this cool new kid named William moves to town. And he's just like super cool, like one of those too cool for you kind of kids. And how Anna, whatever, and William meet is he has his record player and all of his music at school, and she trips and falls into everything and breaks all of it. But it leads to a comical relationship, but then he turns out to be a jerk and she ends up with Jack anyway. And that's the basic story.
Very good.
Thank you.
I like Anna.
Anna.
Okay, so I still have to think for a second on the name of my book, but basically it's about a girl named Claire and her BFF, not Simon, but let's call him Steve, owns a record player shop, and he's one of those guys, you know, who wears a beanie, and he's always like pushing Claire to listen to all that hipster retro music, and they've been friends forever, and he geeks out about gramophones, about vinyl and everything. But then one day a rock dude appears and he has a popular band, and the rock dude's name is something like Kai or whatever, something, you know, fancy, which you don't know anybody's name like that. And Anna is just like, oh, Kai, and then Steve is just like, no, Anna, don't go to the dark side. Sorry.
You're getting my story and your story mixed up.
No, Claire, don't go to the dark side. You have to stay on the vinyl side. Don't you like the crackly sound? Yeah. I'm gonna title my book Crackles vs. E-Guitars. I don't know why, but that's just how I would name it.
That's perfect.
Okay. So the 3 tropes are, I'm obsessed with classic literature, because every other kind of literature is not, you know. Our favorite trope, insta-love. Woo.
Woo!
And the last one is, I'm a what? Exclamation mark, question mark.
Oh man, now I'm like, alright, what am I gonna do? I had an idea, but the one that I'm a what threw me.
These 3 fit Twilight perfectly, just saying. So, my story follows a guy named John, and he has always been in love with the classic novel Jane Eyre, and he wishes he could be in that time period. He loves the characters. He loves the gothic element of it. And then one day, he meets a guy called Roger, and and who shares his passion for Jane Eyre, because most people are just like, John, why are you so obsessed with Jane Eyre? You know, like, get over it. But Roger completely understands him, and they have this instant connection, and, like, you know, they kind of fall in love, but then John is a little bit uncomfortable because he hasn't really realized, like, he hasn't come into his sexuality yet. And then, but then he realizes, you know, Roger is really the one. But then, one day, boom, suddenly, something really, really tough happens, and John finds out that Roger is a wizard, and he has to come to terms with that. So, yeah. And my book is going to be called John Eyre. So, yeah, that's it.
John Eyre, that's perfect.
And Mr. Roger Rochester.
That's so perfect. Okay, so mine's super weird, and it's not a good idea at all, but it's the first thing I came up with. So, the title is called In Deep Water, which doesn't really have anything to do with anything about the story.
Okay.
So there's this girl named Ariel, and she's like super nerdy girl, loves every sort of classic literature, but really loves like Pride and Prejudice.
I just thought for a second you said super dirty girl, but then I just realized you said super nerdy girl. Sorry, keep on going.
She really loves Pride and Prejudice, and she's like, oh my gosh, it's the best book ever. And then one day she gets like transported into the world of Pride and Prejudice. And so she's like, this is amazing. Obviously, instantly like falls for Darcy and is like, they have that instant love connection instead of the love-hate connection he has with Elizabeth Bennet. They're like instantly in love. But then she finds out she's a mermaid and then has to leave at the end of the book, and that's the book.
That is amazing. I would actually want to read that just to see
that. It's so weird. And it's like, oh, okay. You know, she turns into a mermaid and nothing happens of their romance. She just like swims off into the sunset.
But how did she not realize that earlier? You know, like.
She just fell in the water and became a mermaid. She was afraid of swimming before. That's how we'll do it. She was afraid of swimming, so she never went in the water.
That is amazing.
And then she falls into the water and turns into a mermaid, and that's the end of the book. It's a cliffhanger, and there's no other books in the series.
You get all the points for this. One of them is the love triangle.
Perfect.
Another one is, oh hey, I didn't realize I lived in the evil totalitarian society. Oh, and then I kind of took away from that one, but it's love is the answer to everything.
So my book is called Threesome. And it's about these three best friends. And they live in this world that they think is like pretty perfect, and they think it's great, but it's really like a 1984 Big Brother style thing where like the government is literally always watching them all the time, and they think it's awesome, but then they're like, oh, just kidding, it's not awesome, it's the worst. So how this love triangle works, it works like a true love triangle where this is the girl and these are two guys. This girl likes this guy likes this guy, and this guy likes this girl, and none of them like the right person. So they're doomed from the start. But the girl is like pretty logical, and she's kind of the one that figures out like this Big Brother stuff isn't like all it's cracked up to be. I don't think it's right. But then this guy, he is the one that's like, love is the answer to everything, and we don't have to worry about anything as long as we've got love. And so he keeps trying to hint at the other guy like, love is the answer to everything. It is. Love is. But he's not getting it because he's in love with the girl. So yeah, they're pretty much doomed from the start, and they try to fight the system even though they've got the one guy that's like, no, let's just love everybody. We don't need to fight anyone. And yeah, that's how it's gonna go.
Sounds pretty amazing. Okay, so my book is called Apocalypse, but like a cat paw, because it's about this little girl, well, young girl. She lives in a very rural part of her country, and she had a cruel fate. Like, her father is in a prison camp, her mother and her younger siblings got slaughtered in front of her, and the only thing that she has left is her cat named Philip. And
Perfect.
She absolutely loves the cat. Like, it's the one, he's the one thing that, you know, kept her going. Otherwise, she probably would have, I don't know, done something horrible to herself. But then one day, you know, she's always lived a simple life. One day, her nation forbids all cats because they say that the cats release a horrible disease, but secretly they are just testing on them and want to turn them into superhero mutants. And
Okay.
yeah, this kind of guard comes along and has to round up all the cats. And when he comes to her house, he sees her and he immediately falls in love with her and he wants to be lenient, but then he's super jealous of the cat because he's like, how can you love a cat so much when I am Mr. Handsome and love you? Why don't you love me back, you know? But in the end, he realizes, you know, he truly loves the girl and he shouldn't be jealous because in the end, love conquers all and he just wants her to be happy. So, yeah, he hides them away and spends some time with them, keeps them safe, and the girl and the cat live happily forever and ever.
That's perfect. That's
Perfect.
Perfect.
Apocalypse.
I didn't even know I was making a pun. But really, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That love triangle, though. That's how all love triangles should be.
Right?
A person and a guy and their cat.
I hope you enjoyed this collab. Thanks, Maureen, for joining me. Go check out her channel. And we also filmed another part of this video on Maureen's channel. Lots of fun. And to be honest, I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. I think I would actually buy some of our books. Comment down below which of these books or which of these stories you would actually like to read. And yeah, thanks for joining me, Maureen.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
See you next time. Bye!